We've got today on our show Dr. Zameer Careem. He's a historian. Thank you very much, Doctor, for joining us on our program.
Thank you so much for inviting me. Such a pleasure to be on the show.
Let's start off with some of Sri Lanka's historic friends that we have forgotten right now.
Okay, so talking about Sri Lanka, given the geographic position of our country, the strategic location of Sri Lanka, on the crossroads of the major maritime routes, we know that since the dim infancy of the world, Sri Lanka has played a pivotal role when it comes to maritime trade. So we have maintained very good relations, as you pointed out, with India, given that India is our neighboring country, with countries that now make up the Indian subcontinent, whether it be with Pakistan or with Bangladesh, as well as with the rest of India. We have maintained very close diplomatic, political, trade, cultural ties, as well as religious relations, which we have maintained since time immemorial. But then we have also played a pivotal role in terms of trade. So as a result of our strategic location, as you pointed out, we did maintain good ties with China since the time of Fahian, or even prior to the advent of Fahian and prior to the advent of various other explorers who came from China, and also with Southeast Asia. So whether it be with Myanmar, which was formerly Burma, likewise with Indonesia, with Malaya, when they were part of the Srivijayan Empire, for example. So even during this period, we maintained very close relations with those countries. I talk about Southeast Asia. Then talking about the Arabian Peninsula, as well as with Africa. Now, people have completely forgotten that we have very strong relations, which we have maintained since remote antiquity with the Arabian countries, with the Arabian Peninsula, as well as with Africa. So Africa is like a continent which we have forgotten, unfortunately. But since ancient times, even when we talk about the sacred Adam's Peak, we do know that there have been pilgrims who have surged into our country from every nook and cranny of the world, also from places like Africa, from Ethiopia, for example. So the Queen of Ethiopia, or the eunuch of Ethiopia, is believed to have visited our country. So Sri Lanka, as well as Adam's Peak in particular, was a sacred site, and we had pilgrims, we had traders who came from what is now Ethiopia, from Djibouti, from Eritrea, from the eastern coast of Africa, from Madagascar. I'm not talking about the colonial period, prior to the colonial era, and prior to the colonial period as well, we maintained very good relations with Europe. So normally when we talk about our historical relations with Europe, we normally believe that it's during the colonial period, but even during the whole Roman Empire, during the Greek Empire, even during the Byzantine times, we had very strong relations with what is now Europe, as well as with countries like Turkey, for example, or Turkey as it is known right now. So unfortunately, not many Sri Lankans, when it comes to youngsters, we all suffer from what is called historical amnesia. Not many youngsters are conscious of the fact that Sri Lanka has maintained very strong relations with countries like Turkey, as well as with Central and Southeast Europe. And what is the government doing right now, especially the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the diplomatic missions that are based in these countries, particularly nations like Austria, for example, they're trying to raise awareness about the historical relations and on our contacts. Because since ancient times, as I mentioned earlier, given the strategic location and the commodities which we produced in Sri Lanka, so elephants, pearls, garnets, the spices, cinnamon, and many other precious, invaluable commodities were in fact exported to these countries. So usually you had the Roman traders, the Persian traders, Turkish traders, Arabs, Africans used to come to Ceylon and then procure all these goods and then take these goods to those parts of the world, including Europe. Likewise, you had the Chinese and then those who came from the Far East, as well as from Southeast Asia. Those trading vessels used to visit Sri Lanka, get all their resources here. So it was basically the most important trading hub. So this is prior to the colonial period, and when you